What happens if you ejaculate every single day? As a man in your 60s, is it a sign of a healthy libido, or is it draining your strength without you realizing it? Some say it boosts your mood and protects your prostate. Others warn it's making modern men soft, addicted, and numb. So, who's right? And what does science really say? Let's be honest, especially here in the US, this isn't something most men feel comfortable talking about, especially men in their 60s and beyond. You were taught to keep this stuff private, quiet, even shameful, not with friends, not with doctors, and definitely not in public. But that silence creates confusion. Men turn to Google at 2 a.m. They watch videos that either preach abstinence like religion or push casual release like it's a lifestyle. The truth is, most men are stuck in the middle, wondering if what they're doing is normal, healthy, or secretly harming them. So today we're cutting through the noise. We're going to explore what actually happens inside your body and brain when you ejaculate every day, and why the answer isn't a simple yes or no. If you're excited about this topic already, do well to hit the subscribe button right now so you don't miss videos like this that talk about topics most people shy away from. Now, let's start with the benefits, especially the ones that matter most for older men here in the United States, where heart health, energy, and prostate protection become a bigger deal past 60. First, it lights up your brain with pleasure chemicals. You see, every time you climax, your brain releases a flood of endorphins, dopamine, oxytocin, and serotonin. These aren't just feel-good hormones. They shape how you experience life. Endorphins numb pain and release tension. Dopamine sparks motivation and reward. Oxytocin builds connection and peace. And serotonin, often called your happiness chemical, helps stabilize mood. That's why after orgasm, you often feel calmer, clearer, more relaxed. And if you're dealing with stress, this daily release can act like a pressure valve, offering a real biological reset. Second, it helps you sleep naturally. So here's the thing. After ejaculation, your body releases prolactin, a hormone that tells your system, we're done for the day. It triggers that wave of sleepiness many men feel post-sex or post-masturbation. And it's not just prolactin. Oxytocin and serotonin also help slow brain activity and reduce cortisol, the stress hormone. For men struggling with insomnia or restless nights, this natural sedative effect can lead to deeper, more restorative sleep. And that has a ripple effect on everything: energy, immunity, even hormone balance. For the third benefit, it improves blood flow everywhere. During sexual arousal and orgasm, your heart rate rises, blood vessels dilate, and oxygen rushes through your system. That process is called vasodilation, and it's like a mini cardio session for your blood vessels. Better circulation helps deliver nutrients to your organs, remove waste faster, and reduce blood pressure over time. And yes, it benefits more than just your heart, your brain, your muscles. Even your sexual function rely on good blood flow. Fourth, there's a link to prostate health. A Harvard study, right here in the US, that followed over 30,000 men for nearly 2 decades found something surprising. Men who ejaculated 21 more times a month had a significantly lower risk of developing prostate cancer. The theory? Regular ejaculation helps flush out the prostate, clearing out old cells, bacteria, and potential toxins before they accumulate. It's not a magic bullet, but it's compelling evidence that staying sexually active may offer protective benefits later in life. And to the fifth benefit, it may actually strengthen your immune system. Some studies suggest that sexual arousal and orgasm can increase levels of immunoglobulin A, your body's frontline defense against viruses and bacteria. Add that to the stress-reducing effects of daily release, and you've got a recipe for stronger overall immunity. In short, when done in balance and without guilt, ejaculation can support mental health, hormonal balance, and even your body's natural defenses. But as with anything in life, too much of a good thing can come with a cost. And now, it's time to look at the other side. Let's start with the most overlooked danger, compulsiveness. You see, there's a fine line between a healthy habit and a psychological crutch. If you feel you need to ejaculate every day just to function or stay calm, that's not freedom. That's dependence. Compulsive sexual behavior can sneak up quietly. It starts with stress relief, then becomes routine, and eventually starts stealing time, focus, and emotional clarity. When a release becomes an obligation instead of a choice, your brain is no longer in control. You're just chasing dopamine. Second, many men use ejaculation to escape. Lonely, anxious, overwhelmed? It's usually easy to reach for that momentary high. And yes, it does bring temporary relief. But when release becomes your only coping mechanism, it masks the deeper problem. You stop addressing the root of the stress and start numbing it instead. Over time, this emotional shortcut can dull your resilience and reduce your capacity to face life head-on. Third, if you're trying to start a family, frequency matters. Now, get this. Your body needs time to produce and mature sperm. While you can technically ejaculate every day, it may reduce sperm concentration per release. Studies show spacing out ejaculations by 2 to 3 days can improve sperm count and motility, both critical for conception. So if fertility is on your radar, daily release may be working against your goals without you realizing it. Fourth, you may actually start feeling less desire. You see, when the brain is flooded with pleasure chemicals too often, it starts to dull its response. This is called dopamine desensitization, and it's real. What once felt exciting becomes mechanical. You need more stimulation to feel the same high, and gradually your natural desire, your baseline sexual energy, starts to fade. Even worse, it can impact your partner connection. If your arousal becomes tied to solo release, real intimacy may feel less satisfying. And to the final one, you might be unknowingly training yourself for premature ejaculation. Yes, if you've gotten into the habit of quick, goal-oriented release, especially through masturbation, you're conditioning your brain and body to finish fast. This habit rewires your nervous system. So when you're finally with a partner, your body doesn't know how to slow down. It can also create a vicious cycle. Performance anxiety, faster release, disappointment, more anxiety. Over time, that pressure can even trigger psychological erectile dysfunction. And all of it started with what seemed like a harmless daily habit. Now, don't panic. This doesn't mean you need to stop cold turkey, but it does mean you need awareness, and maybe, just maybe, you've been told only half the story. So, what really happens when you ejaculate every day? Well, it depends. For some men, it can be a source of emotional relief, improved sleep, better circulation, and even long-term health benefits. For others, it becomes a quiet addiction, a routine that chips away at clarity, desire, performance, and self-control without them even realizing it. There's no one-size-fits-all answer, because this isn't just about biology, it's about intention. The most important thing is to not let your body run your life on autopilot. Whether you ejaculate once a week or once a day, make sure it's your choice, not a reflex. Be honest with yourself. Is it serving you or slowly stripping you? Now, everything we've talked about today is based on the best available science. And for many men, that's enough. But there's another side to this story. A deeper, older perspective that challenges the mainstream narrative. Because some men believe daily ejaculation isn't just neutral or even healthy. They believe it's weakening modern masculinity. That it's a quiet addiction keeping men distracted, depleted, and domesticated. Could it be true? Could the thing you've been told is good for you actually be draining the very thing that makes you a man? That's what we're uncovering in part 2 of this trilogy. The ejaculation lie, why frequent release is making men weak. If you thought this video was eye-opening, you haven't seen anything yet. So hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and be the first to know when it drops. Because this next video, it might just challenge everything you thought you knew, and if this helped you, it will help someone else. Like this video, share it with a brother, and drop your thoughts in the comments. And I'll see you on the next one.